History Spotlight, brought to you by HEC Media and the Missouri Historical Society.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Sowell from the Missouri Historical Society, and this is History Spotlight. Today, social media makes it easy to connect with people with similar interests and experiences. But in years past, African Americans relied on black newspapers as a conventional way to communicate with each other due to the lack of coverage in other newspaper outlets. Public historian Cecily Hunter tells us about some of these early St. Louis papers.
Nowadays, technology has been incredible in the ways that we can communicate worldwide. So things like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, these are just a few of the ways that we stay in communication with the world around us. But back then, in 1884, J.W. Wheeler would start a black newspaper in St. Louis. So this is one of a few that circulated in the late 1800s. J.W. Wheeler will become and be seen as the Palladium man. And so this newspaper was circulated to inform and inspire, to talk about the color line and race relations and what it meant to be black in St. Louis as well. And so the newspaper covered a variety of topics. It was roughly about 15 cents if you were to go and pick up a newspaper in the local community. If you wanted a year-long subscription, it was $2. And it really served as a way to communicate with fraternal organizations, with black churches, with the black community in general. Traditionally, we think about the St. Louis American, the St. Louis Argus, which actually circulated in the 20th century. This one predates those as well. What's important about the Palladium is that it came before many of the newspapers that we would think of today in St. Louis. And so not very many people know about the Palladium and even J.W. Wheeler. There were references to it being a newspaper that was dedicated toward the improvement of black people, and referencing and having conversations along that color line, and having it be a newspaper that black people read, but also one that others could read as well, so they could see the conversations that were happening within the black community as well. A columnist wrote, "All we want is a chance to show our ability, and that is what keeps most of the race question before the world today. Newspapers mold sentiment for good or evil. Then the Negro inhabitants of this country should look to our people and the Negro papers to dispense news and information."
Next week on History Spotlight, we dive into St. Louis blues.
To learn more about the Missouri Historical Society, visit mohistory.org.